What's good, peeps? What is good? How's everyone doing? Hopefully you're all doing very, very well. It's here, peeps. We're less than one sleep away. I say one sleep. You might be watching this tomorrow morning. But for me, I'm filming this at 9:45 in the evening. And I'm guessing the ring walks tomorrow are going to be around 10:30. So for me, we're around 24 hours away from AJ versus Usyk. Fucking hell. I can't wait. Honestly, I've gone back and forth. I've changed my mind on this fight so many times. And that means it's a big fight. That means it's a good fight. That means it's a close fight. And that's what big time boxing should be about. You know what's crazy? For me, this fight right now is massive. Like, it's one of the biggest fights of the year. Some might say it is the biggest fight of the year. That's debatable. But it's one of, right? It's in the top three. How big would AJ Fury be or AJ Wilder then? Because for me, this feels massive. And I'm thinking it's massive, but AJ Fury or AJ Wilder would be just ginormous. Like, honestly, and I pray, aside from me being an AJ fan, you know where I stand, I pray AJ gets through this just to see how big AJ Fury or AJ Wilder would be. Because I think it would be something incredible. I really do, because I think this is already incredible. I can tell by the amount of non-boxing people asking me questions about this fight. I can tell. I've been on, I think I said this the other day, but I've done so much media for people that I don't normally do much media for, because they just want to know the ins and outs of AJ versus Usyk. It really is a massive fight, and look, we're going to talk about it. But first, I do want to say today's video is supported and sponsored by Le Bomb, and I thank them and thank you guys so much for them helping me in this video. For those of you that don't know what Le Bomb is, I put a link in the description, but it is a betting app that allows you to have bets with your friends. So not with the bookies, with your friends. I've got 5 guys with me in my little group. So I've got, you might know these guys, Lee Chappie, James Redmond, Saeed. We're all in a group together and we do our predictions. And then you kind of put your stake at the end. Winner takes all, the bomb takes 10%. So we've all put a tenner in. The pot will be 45 quid, winner takes it all. Who won it last week? I think James Redmond won it last week. Fingers crossed I win it this week. I'll tell you what my predictions are. I'll give you some of them anyway. Some big games, by the way, coming up. Chelsea to beat City. I've gone 2-1 Chelsea. It's going to be close, that one. Man United versus Villa. Unfortunately, I've gone 2-1 United. Everton, I've picked to beat Norwich 1-0. Leeds. I've got West Ham to beat Leeds 2-1. And yeah, so you just literally pick all your results. In the end, it will ask you for your stake. Put your stake in. I've done a tenner. You can do a fiver. And again, the winner takes all. So it's not you versus the bookies. It's you versus your friends, right? So it's a bit of fun. Link is in the description. I'm not joking. It will get you gripped. And the reason it will get you grip is because it updates the leaderboard every time a goal goes in. So all of a sudden you think you're at the top and then you're at the bottom, and it makes you care about results that you don't really care about. So it's a bit of fun with some friends. Remember, it is gambling, so you do have to be over 18. Have fun doing it. Link is in the description, people. All right, let's get back to matters at hand. By the way, I apologize that I've not done any behind the scenes stuff. Truth be told, there wasn't much to film. I started and I was like, there isn't much here. I could have maybe done a video over 2 days and that would have been worth it, but I didn't really think about that at the time. The reason being is that we've been filming the DAZN show at the Bill Nicholson pub, which is in Tottenham. So it's like the Tottenham pub, right? But everyone else, like all the boxers, have been elsewhere. So we've had a couple of boxers come through. So Lawrence Okoli's come through, Campbell Hatton's come through, Florian Marcoux come through, and Roy Jones Jr. came through today. So I could have done a video about all that, but it was just a bit too, it wasn't a behind the scenes. You wouldn't have really, I don't think you would have enjoyed it. That's what I'm trying to get at. I will say this though, Roy Jones Jr. walked in. I knew that he would know Akam Barak. They've sat with Roy before, they've interviewed Roy. And I introduced myself. I was like, Roy, hi, my name's Addy. He says, I know who you are. I watched the DAZN boxing show. And I was like, my God, Roy Jones Jr. knows who I am. And we were chatting. Obviously, he was fantastic on the show. I just couldn't believe it. A, I couldn't believe he knew who I was. And B, I couldn't believe that I was sitting next to Roy Jones Jr. He was to my left, and Ak was there and Barak was there. And I'm like, there was a time when I was obviously involved in the conversation, but there was definitely about 20 seconds where I zoned out and just thought, my God, Roy Jones Jr. is next to me. Like that, no bullshit. No bullshit. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking, I'm sitting next to Roy Jones Jr. If I've never thought that I've made it, I don't know, people might say you're big head. I don't care, fuck it. I've made it. Roy Jones Jr. is there. That's Roy Jones Jr. Do you know what I mean? That's one of the greatest boxers of all time. He knew my name and he is sitting there and we're having a chit chat like he's my best friend. And I'm working with him tomorrow as well. So just guys, just so you know what I'm doing tomorrow. So I'm opening the show. So the DAZN boxing show. We're going to have Chisora on it, Dillian White, Eddie Hearn, a few other special guests as well. And that's like for an hour and a half. And then we obviously chuck to the broadcast. And then I'm closing the show as well. And I'm closing the show with Roy Jones Jr. and Tony Bellew. Fuck out of here, man. We're doing it. We're doing it. All right. This video is a bit clickbaity. The reason it's a bit clickbaity isn't because I'm not going to give you my predictions, because I'm certainly going to try. It's because with the main event, AJ versus Usyk, I am all over the place. I'm being brutally honest there, people. I have no idea how the main event plays out. None. So if you want to tune out now, you can. I have no idea. That main event could go 100 different ways. I don't know if a fight can be won 100 different ways, but you know what I mean? Like, it could go anywhere. I ain't got a clue. I've spoken to people, like we had Spencer Fearon on the show today. It was nice because Spencer came just to support, and I thought, you know what, Spencer's there. Let me get Spencer in. So I got Spencer in the show, which I enjoyed. It felt good that I'm doing that, bringing people in. And even Spence was kind of like and ahhing about it. Roy and ahhing about it, like real boxing people, guys that, you know, study the sport, know the sport. A lot of people have no idea how this goes. You know, a lot of people think that AJ could and maybe should be able to use his size and strength. But a lot of people saw the weigh-ins today and were like, okay, AJ's bigger, but, you know, Usyk ain't small. Usyk fixed it as well, 221 pounds, AJ 240. That's not, I mean, it's still a lot of weight, right? I mean, 21 pounds is still a lot, but it's not that big. It's not, you know, it's not, I think Fury Wilder was definitely a lot bigger in the weights. Let me have a look, actually. 1 second. Have I got time to do this? I can't be asked, but I'm sure Fury Wilder was bigger, where Fury was able to bully Wilder and push Wilder back, and, you know, Wilder couldn't handle the strength, hence why Wilder's, I think, going to come in a bit bigger. AJ still should be able to impose his strength on Usyk, but all I'm saying is it isn't going to be as easy as we think. It really isn't. I'm going to be real. If AJ wins this fight by knockout, A, it's his best performance, and B, I wouldn't be shocked. But I also wouldn't be shocked if Usyk is able to stop AJ. I wouldn't be shocked. Like, I was just, you know, I can visualize it. I can see how Usyk turns it up, and I'm actually closing my eyes talking to you as I'm doing. I can picture Usyk really going through that gear, like literally going from gear 1 straight to gear 6, like fuck it, just and opening that tool bag and just showing AJ different looks, and I can see all that madness happening. But I also, when I close my eyes, can see AJ denting him hard. And then Usyk's, I'm still closing my eyes, Usyk's scared to get into the pocket because he's like, oh, I came into that pocket and I felt that ramrod jab. I felt it. And I'm like, I don't like that. I felt that shot to the body, didn't like it. I felt that big uppercut, didn't like it. AJ has to put a dent on him early. I personally think. That's all, you know, and like, when I chuck that out there, I'm fucking not chucking it out there as a boxing expert. Again, I have no idea how this fight plays out, but in my own personal opinion, AJ dents this guy early before this guy starts to get comfortable. And like I say, go into the tool bag and start showing things that AJ hasn't seen. But if I'm brutally honest, I've seen predictions. I've watched so many prediction videos and everyone is flip-flopping. No one seems to be like, yep, boom, AJ's doing this, or yep, boom, Usyk's doing that. No one. And that is the beauty of this fight, people. The beauty of this fight is expect the unexpected. Expect the unexpected. You know, this is the type of fight. Obviously, look, thank God, I'm lucky that I'm going to be there. I'm lucky that I'm working and then I'm jumping ringside. But I'm telling you now, if I was at home, I ain't streaming this fight. This is the kind of fight where I ain't letting no stream potentially take down what's going to be something. I'm paying my $25. I'm paying it because I don't want to miss it. This isn't one of those illegal stream fights. It really isn't. I'm not just trying to say that to support Sky, but but it really isn't that. This is a fight you pay your money for, because this is going to be a hell of a scrap. Gun to the head, AJ stops him late. Gun to the head, AJ gets rid of him between rounds 10 and 12. Gun to the head. Gun to the head. Barack said stoppage today, AJ. Axe said stoppage, AJ. Roy Jones didn't pick a winner, but said it's going points. I'm going to AJ. I'm going for the hat trick with Ak and Barack. AJ wins by late stoppage. But boy, oh boy, he's going to have to go through some fire. I think this is going to eclipse Klitschko. Yeah, AJ might have to get off the canvas, people. Might have to get off the canvas. You heard it here first. Well, you didn't hear it here first. Someone's probably said that anyway. All right, Lawrence Okoli versus Dylan Prasovic. Lawrence Okoli is going to get the stoppage. Although this Prasovic is 15-0, 12 knockouts. I mean, he ain't fought anyone like a Lawrence Okoli. Lawrence Okoli is the real deal. The real deal. And I hope that going to heavyweight talk stops. Lawrence Okoli should want to clean up the cruiserweight division. Bradis is now there. Makabu, I say now there because Bradis was talking about going to heavy. He's still there. Makabu's still there. These are big fights he can have next year. Unification, undisputed fights. So forget the heavyweight talk for now. You know, he's only had 16 fights. Although he's an Olympian, there isn't much amateur experience there. So keep ticking away as a cruiser. And then when you're ready, when you feel like you're fully ready. How old is Lawrence Okoli? 1 sec. 28. Yep, 30. Go heavyweight. Couple more years at cruiser, not a problem. Callum Smith versus Lenin Castillo. Let's see. Let's see what Callum Smith can do at light heavy. Let's see what Callum Smith can do with Buddy McGirt. Let's see if there's been any obvious improvements. Let's see if he can fight big, right? Use your jab, use your length. Let's see if he can do that. Or is he going to fight the way he's been fighting before, which is almost a small man's fight where he lets them get inside and he kind of throws those hooks to the body and the uppercut that he's very, very good at. I hope he fights long. Lenin Castillo is a decent fighter, by the way. I mean, when his name was first picked, everyone, including myself, was like, who's this guy? Watch a few tapes of him. He ain't that bad. I mean, he was good enough for Dimitri Bivol to fight in the world title fight, a couple of years ago. Marcus Brown beat him as well. You look at the three people that have beat him. So it's Marcus Brown, it's Dimitri Bivol, and it's another unbeaten fight. Let's quickly bring up the name. Joseph Williams, who is now been a bit quiet. Joseph Williams, who's 13-0. That's the three guys he's lost to. He's no slouch. I mean, again, there are other names out there, but this is his first fight, Callum, at 175. I think for a first fight, it's a good one. I expect Callum Smith to win on points. I don't think he gets rid of Castillo. I really don't. This could be, in terms of action, the fight of the night. Florian Marcoux versus Maxim Prodan. Maxim Prodan, unbeaten, IBF international champion from Ukraine, but now based in Italy. We know all about Florian Marcoux. No disrespect, and I'm going to say this politely. This guy that Florian Marcoux is fighting, Maxim Prodan, is 19-0-1, one draw. Florian Marcoux is 8-1, one being the one draw. Florian Marcoux's fights before this was Ryland Charlton, 6-0, and Jamie Stewart, who was 2-0, who he got a draw with. Controversial, should have won the fight draw. This is a big step up. This is a huge step up. Again, his last three fights was a guy called Muma Mwiba, who was 4-1. This is Florian Marcoux. Jamie Stewart, 2-0. Ryland, so Jamie Stewart, 2-0. Draw, officially, although I thought he won it. Ryland Charlton, who put him down, who was 6-0. He's now fighting Maxim Prodan, who is 19-0-1. Who is the IBF International Welterweight Champion. This will be action, and I will not be surprised. I don't even know if it's an upset if Prodan wins. I think if you were to ask, by the way, this was supposed to be on Fight Camp. Florian Marcoux got injured, so this was supposed to be a couple of months ago. So these guys know each other. They've been waiting to fight each other. There's a lot of needle. You think you've seen it at the weigh-ins and at the press conference. A lot of needle. I would not be shocked if Marcoux loses this. Wouldn't be shocked. That Prodan looks really good. I was watching him close doing a media workout, and I was like, okay. Then you watch a couple of his fights, and yeah, there isn't much defense, but his offense is just do. I think Florian Marcoux's got the power to hurt him, but I equally think he's got the power to hurt Marcoux. Campbell Hatton versus Sonny Martinez. Obviously, we're not expecting much. What I am expecting is a better looking Campbell Hatton. Like, show us something, right? That's what we're asking for. To show us something. Give us a little sign. Like, okay, you know what? Yeah, show us something. I'm telling you now, if Campbell Hatton gets to like 10-0, 11-0, 12-0, this guy's going to sell bucket loads of tickets, thousands. And they're hoping they can get him to that. And then he will become a bit of a superstar if they can get him to that. They've got to navigate it slowly. Just like they did Conor Benn. Remember Conor Benn coming through early when he had those fights where his face was really puffed up? It's a case of just navigating him past the sharks and seeing if he can get better, which Conor has. And now all of a sudden, Conor's a guy that you think could do the O2 Arena. That's what they've got to do with Campbell Hatton. Christopher Usyk is an interesting fight. He takes on Kassan, I'm going to butcher this name, Basangurov. I think that's right, Basangurov. Christopher Usyk is very, very good. Very, very good. I don't know too much about Kassan Basangurov. This is for the WBA Intercontinental Middleweight title. Sounds like a bit of a wrestling belt, doesn't it? And then Daniel Lapin versus... By the way, Christopher Usyk will win. And then Daniel Lapin versus Pavel Martinek. Daniel Lapin, 4-0, unbeaten light heavyweight. He's going to win as well. So let's quickly run through it. I've got AJ KO, Lawrence Cody KO, Callum Smith points, Prodan KO. That's what I'm going for. Usyk KO, Campbell Hatton points, and Daniel Lapin KO as well. What do you guys think? Let me know. Guys, actually, let's quickly see if there's any news. I doubt there is. Bit here, Joshua warns Usyk, I know what I'm going to do. I just know a knockout. Oh boy. Shitting myself. I'm not joking. Shitting myself. I'm gonna make my way there. So our show starts at 4:30. I'm gonna get there for around 2. Bit of a rehearsal, bit of prep, and then it's showtime, guys. I'm gonna do the best I can do. Pray for me. Pray for your boy. Peace.